What's going on YouTube? It's your boy camATL. Shout out to the DFS squad. Shout out to everybody watching this video right now. Drop a like down below because I already know you're gonna love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you comment anything down in the comment section to once again enter your name into the $50 giveaway that I do every single week on this channel. Let's get 150 likes on this video right here. Thank you guys for watching as always. I'm not going to keep up too much of your time. So make sure you stay till the end of the video for the home run predictions. And make sure you join me for the live show at 2:30 p.m. Central on this channel. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. And hit the notification bell next to subscribe so it lets you know when I go live. All right, let's get straight into it. Pitchers that I'm interested in here are Dallas Keuchel and Aaron Sanchez. Now, we do have some decent pitching on this slate. At the top of the thing, we got Shane Bieber going against the New York Mets. He's a guy who usually will pitch deep into games. He is going against a Mets offense that isn't that great. And then we have Clayton Kershaw going against Toronto. Toronto, the thing that scares me with Toronto is they have actually offensively been putting up some runs lately. Clayton Kershaw is a very solid pitcher, and he can always put up a great performance, but I don't really see the necessity in having to pay up for a Clayton Kershaw at $12,000 or a Shane Bieber at $11,600. When you've got some very solid mid-range guys. I even like Sonny Gray at 9.7 a lot at home in Cincinnati going against San Diego. They're without Fernando Tatis, which is one of their better hitters on that squad outside of Machado. He's been playing the best on the team offensively, period, all season. Ever since he came up, he's been the best hitter on this team, and he has not been in the lineup. So that's going to help Sonny Gray a lot there, okay? As you can see with Trevor Bauer, he was able to run through that squad with Tatis, one of their best hitters, being out of that lineup. So I like Sonny Gray a lot. But mainly, I mean, I'm really trying to save money here because we've got some really good mid-range guys, and let's talk about them. Dallas Keuchel and Aaron Sanchez. Keuchel is 7.9, going against Miami. Great matchup for him. I wish it was in Miami, but it doesn't really matter to me. I understand that this entire Miami offense is going to be right-handed. Totally understand that. I don't love that, but it is what it is. Miami is a horrible offense. One of the worst offenses in the entire league. Keuchel regularly goes deep into games. He's going to he has a huge ground ball rate, which is going to force guys to hit the ball to the ground. Miami already is an offense that just isn't very good at hitting the ball up anyways. I love Atlanta's chances to give him plenty of run support. So yeah, at only 7.9, I think Keuchel is a very, very solid option. Next up, Aaron Sanchez. Houston, once again, is one of my favorite stacks of this entire slate. Them and LA stick out the most to me. LA is going to be having the doubleheader tomorrow. So make sure you keep track of the lineups on this main slate because they could be a little wacky seeing that they're going to play the early slate too. But Aaron Sanchez at home in Houston, which is a pitcher-friendly park, going against this horrible Detroit offense. He's going to be facing at least 6 right-handed bats on this offense. They're already not good. He pitches regularly, fairly deep into games as well. He's pitched fairly well since he's been with Houston. I mean, he was very, very solid until his blow-up at Oakland, which I'm not going to lie, was definitely a surprise for him to get blown up by them in Oakland. But now he's back home in Houston. He's going to be going against a much worse offense than Oakland in Detroit. They are not good at all, and I love the fact that Aaron Sanchez is only 6'8". In my mind, that is ridiculously low. He is definitely a guy that I want a ton of exposure to. All right, now let's talk about the bats. All right, now that we've got pitching out of the way, my main thoughts on pitching is the mid-range guys are way too juicy to really pay up for those main guys. I don't see a main reason as of right now with my first look to spend up and go spend a crazy amount on pitching when you have such solid mid-range guys to choose from. This slate is begging you to go mid-range guys. Get some LA, get some Houston, and I have some sneaky offenses that I'm into too that we'll talk about in just a minute. Rhys Hoskins in Philly is one of them. Okay, they're going against Brian Johnson, who is not a good left-handed pitcher. He is very bad. Gives up a ton to lefties and righties. He is just not good. Rhys Hoskins mashes lefties. He's got the righty-lefty matchup at 4-3. I love Rhys Hoskins. He is one of my home run call guys, and I really, really love him at first base going against this bad lefty in Brian Johnson. Next up, now, One of the things I've quickly noticed looking through this slate when my first look is that the Dodgers are extremely cheap, okay? This is an offense that we know can put up runs in bunches, okay? Reed Foley has been a solid pitcher so far. He's been okay. He's not horrible. He's not great. He's just okay. He's not a guy that you typically want to go full stack against. But in GPP on this slate, I think there's some merit to it. These guys are fairly well priced. Max Muncy is only 4.6. He hasn't been that cheap in a while. Let's look at how his prices have been lately. He was less than that before. But, I mean, this is a dude who's got huge potential in the way he's been playing. Look at the last 5 games, 11, 11, 20, 18, 16. Like 4.6 just seems too cheap for a guy who is hot right now. Going against Reed Foley, who is a decent pitcher, but he's still got the lefty-righty issue, the lefty issues, and he's going against Max Muncy, a guy who mashes righties. So there are definitely some Dodger lefties that I'm interested in due to the price, and that leads me to Jock Peterson. He hasn't been very good lately, but Muncy and Peterson are definitely in the home run conversation in this slate because they're at home in Los Angeles. And like I said, we all know that this Dodgers offense is a lineup that can put up runs in bunches. And with Houston and LA on this slate, they could get overlooked. Okay, so I'm definitely interested in some Dodger guys, some like one-off Dodger guys that I think could do good, and Jock's one of them at only 3.8. That seems way too cheap for a guy with the potential he has. I understand he hasn't been hitting the ball very well lately. He's been, which is why his price definitely reflects that, but his price honestly should never drop this low. I believe that he will bounce back anytime now, and this is a good situation to do so at home. Lefty-righty matchup against Reed Foley. Definitely love Jock Peterson. And that's it. Dallas Keuchel, Aaron Sanchez, Rhys Hoskins, Max Muncy, and Jock Peterson, the 2 guys from the Dodger stack that I do like in GPP mainly. But these are 2 guys that I think are going to be incredibly low-owned that you could really pop off in GPPs with if this Dodger offense ends up blowing up like I feel they could. Okay, so I definitely like both of those guys and the upside that they possess. All right, let's go ahead and get straight into the home run predictions, guys. I'm not going to take much of your time. I'm going to list off probably about 10 guys that I think will hit home runs on this slate that I'm definitely going to be trying to work into my lineups, especially in GPP. You want those double down potential guys. So here we go. Cody Bellinger, Max Muncy, and Jock Peterson. I can see homering off Reed Foley. Those are the 3 lefties that I'm interested in on the Dodger stack. Next up, keep an eye on the Angels lineup, but Mike Trout and Justin Upton, of course, going against a left-handed pitcher, they are always in play. But you have to keep an eye on the lineups because they are playing a doubleheader. So you do want to keep an eye on that. But Mike Trout and Upton are definitely in play here against a lefty in Texas. We all know why. All right. Eugenio Suarez going against Cal Quantrill. Cal is just not a great pitcher. He struggles with the fly ball rate. Eugenio Suarez is a guy that can always hit one out. All right, next up, another guy that I really love is Ronald Acuna Jr. going against Eliezer Hernandez. Hernandez has his moments, but he's just not a good pitcher. Ronald Acuna is a beast. The last game he played in, he actually got pulled from the game because he thought he hit a home run when he didn't, so he only got a single instead of probably being able to at least get a double. He thought he was going to have a home run, so he kind of willy-nilly'd it the first round in the bases. So the coach took him out of the game for no effort. So he should come in pumped up and ready to prove something here in this one. So I definitely like Ronald Acuna. Next up, another guy like Nelson Cruz. I know we normally play Nelson Cruz. We love him versus lefties, but Ronaldo Lopez, I get Ronaldo is solid versus righties, but this is still Nelson Cruz. So I definitely love him as well. Next up, Matt Adams, my boy. We talked about him in the high five again. You guys know how I feel about in the live show. I talked about him yesterday. He was definitely one of my home run guys that I liked on this slate. Going against Chris Archer, we called him yesterday, and this is another great matchup against a pitcher who struggles against lefties, giving up way too much hard contact. So I could definitely see Matt Adams doing it again, having another very good game like he did last night. All right. Now, Nolan Arenado and Trevor Story, obviously, I wish I had them in Colorado, but it's okay. They're in Arizona, and they're going against a left-handed pitcher, and they are always a risk for home runs. Kyle Schwarber going against Tyler Beede. This is a guy who struggles giving up fly ball rate. Especially if that wind ends up blowing out. You're going to want some Chicago guys there, because we know with this Chicago park, the wind affects home runs big time. So if that wind's blowing out, you definitely want some power hitters on the Chicago side against Bede, who is not a good pitcher. Okay. A one-off guy that I don't think many people have is Randall Grichuk. Sticks out to me. Going against Clayton Kershaw. I get it's Clayton Kershaw, but he's got the lefty-righty matchup, and he is going to be incredibly low-owned. So he's another guy that's very good for GPPs. Let's see. Let me try to give you guys another one. All right, last but not least, Yasiel Puig going against Steven Matz. Lefty-righty matchup. I absolutely love Puig when he faces lefties. Matz is not a pushover, but he's also not very good. So Puig, and of course, Rhys Hoskins. I absolutely love Rhys Hoskins here in this matchup against Brian Johnson. I definitely see him homering. And good luck, guys. I hope we kill it. I hope these guys hit home runs for you. I hope you take down GPPs. Greenlightdfs.com. Join the squad. Let's keep smashing. Drop a like down below. Subscribe to the channel. And I'm